Orbit Storage. Orbit Storage Part 4. I am Abe Zucca. The orbit storage of Nick Fuentes, Part 4. The lettered vandal, constraint to excess, and the anarchic craft of the sign. Awkward grammar appalls a craftsman. A law as harsh as fatwa bans all paragraphs that lack an A. Abracadabra. Constraint is not the enemy of invention, but its accelerant. When language is bound by an arbitrary law, a single vowel elevated to a sovereign status, expression is forced to coil, contort, and proliferate. The craftsman recoils from awkwardness, yet the vandal understands the awkward grammar is a productive scandal. What appalls the guild galvanizes the heretic. Dada does not negate art, it jams it by scrawling an alpha that mars all stanza. The bard exposes how fragile coherence always was. Sabotage becomes method. The backward zag is not error, but signature, a mark that declares war on stagnant form. The small black stamp, the seal, the repeated mark outlives the grand gesture. Reproducibility is power disguised as modesty. Ars magna may arise from the tiniest implement when iteration replaces inspiration and pattern supersedes confession. When a single letter becomes law, the alphabet turns theological. Orthography acquires the force of ritual purity, and exclusion masquerades as clarity. To ban paragraphs lacking an A is to reveal that meaning has always been policed by form before content is even considered. Abundance performs authority. Feasts, baths, garlands, lamps, and perfumes choreograph obedience through saturation rather than command. The court is an acoustic chamber of indulgence, where claps summon servants and pleasure becomes a logistical exercise. Eating is grammatical act. List of dishes accumulate like clauses, piling flavor upon flavor until appetite itself becomes a sentence without punctuation. Refusal, balking at ham, selecting one delicacy over another, is the only surviving grammar of choice within excess. Thanks for subscribing. Music reveals that letters were always latent rhythms. Seat, jazz, cantata, sardana, and rap are dialects of breath disciplined into form. The dominance of A flats and A sharps exposes harmony as constraints in disguise, a sonic version of the vowel law. Desire conjugates bodies as verbs. Grasping, spanking, unclasping. These are the syntax. Pornography here is not transgression but inventory, a catalog of gestures permitted by the same alphabetic tyranny governing speech. Drugs function as punctuation marks. Hash, ganja. Smack interrupt linear sense, inserting ellipses where consciousness once flowed. The nap that follows excess is temporary erasure. A blackout stanza where the body edits the mind. Dreams are uncontrolled anagrams. Phantasmata recombine the sanctioned alphabet into monstrous avatars that snarl at the remains of others. Magic arises when language forgets its own rules. When language forgets its own rules. When language forgets its own rules. When one letter governs all, the world itself becomes ideogram, lipogrammatic. Reality is filtered through orthographic permission. The final lesson of the letter vandal is this: meaning does not survive by purity, but by adaptability. What endures is not correctness, but the capacity to keep recombining under absurd laws. What endures is not correctness, but the capacity to keep recombining under absurd laws. Silent, shattering, and recursive form. A word is a bit of a crystal in formation. A fractal is the ideal redundancy. Consciousness is itself a fractal curve. Silence as crystalline medium. Silence is not emptiness, but supercooled field in which thought precipitates. When words are held rather than spoken, the intervals between them crystallize, tessellating the mind into ordered lattices of restraint. Thinking is thus a mineral process. Ideas do not flow, they accrete, frost-like under cognition, becomes a fragile glaze across reflective awareness. Speech is impact. When the voice rises to perfect pitch, it fractures the silent pan and confronts, converting shared stillness into shrapnel. To speak is to wound the intervals between selves. Communication does not bridge silence, it annihilates it, replacing reflection with debris. Writing arrests the instant of rupture. It photographs the mirror at the moment of its destruction, preserving the violence of revelation as artifact. Every written surface conceals another surface behind it. Text promises disclosure but delivers recursion. Each shattered image reveals only the next mirror awaiting impact. Every written surface conceals another surface behind it. Text promises disclosure but delivers recursion. Each shattered image reveals only the next mirror awaiting impact. A crystal in disarray organizing itself without supervision. Its intelligence lies not in design but in inevitability. Each atom falling by chance into necessity. Crystalline perfection resembles mechanic precision precisely because both efface intention. Order emerges as an accident repeated flawlessly. Words behave like salutes in supercooled language. Under the right conditions, they precipitate alphabetically, forming structures whose beauty rivals engineered form. Linguistic meaning is thus dialogical. A word remembers its growth conditions long after its author dissolves from relevance. The fractal is a map that refuses arrival. It charts fragmentation without offering destination, enclosing space with denying traversals. To To follow a fractal path is to learn that return and departure are the same gesture performed at different scales. Length is not intrinsic but conditional. Coastlines elongate as rules shrink, revealing that form depends upon patience of inquiry. Exploration ends not because the universe is finite, but because attention is. Fractals repeat without reiterating. Each restatement digresses while remaining faithful, producing novelty through obsession. Redundancy is not waste, but persistence. What repeats survives by exhausting the possibility of being missed. Fractal music abolishes tempo. Played faster or slower, it remains itself, proving that structure can dominate time. An acoustic fractal is sound remembering itself. An echo chamber that requires no walls. Facing mirrors do not reflect images. They manufacture infinity. Each surface becomes an archive of its own duplication. Reflection here is not representation but proliferation. Identity multiplies until origin becomes undecidable. Consciousness observing itself traces a curve immune to calculus. Awareness does not progress linearly, it folds. Selfhood is thus recursive boundary, endlessly approaching but never coinciding with itself. To explore a fractal is to look past the mirror without seeing the mirror that enables looking. The final blindness of cognition is structural. The frame that permits reflection cannot itself be reflected without collapse. All right, that's going to be the end of part 4. I'll see you guys later.